Hi friends, welcome to today's video. In a little bit, we're gonna have a sit down talk about something that I've been meaning to discuss with you for like ages, and I'm just now kind of sucking it up and doing it because it's been weighing on me. It's been something I've been dealing with, and I have been getting questions about this, and I just want to let it all out. So we're gonna have like a sit down talk in a little bit. By the title, I'm sure you can tell what it is about, but I don't want to like start word vomiting about it and then not be able to stop. So we're not going to discuss it right now. We're going to discuss it when I get back from the gym, and I figured I would show you guys today's workout. So what I've been doing lately is lifting about 4 days a week, and then I also ride horses at least 2 days a week, which you guys know is like my favorite thing ever. It makes me so happy. But I've been doing that twice a week, lifting about three, sometimes, usually 4 days a week. And then the other days, some days when I'm riding, that's like my only form of exercise. Other days I'll do like also cardio, but I'll always make sure to be like active in some way. Another thing I've been mixing in is like circuit training and that sort of stuff. So today we're gonna do a little bit of a circuit type workout, like a conditioning workout. And I figured I would show you guys because you really liked it when I put it on my Instagram story the other day. Instagram is right here in case you don't follow me already. So I figured I would record that for you and share it with you. Yeah, I am riding tonight, so I'm gonna do like 2 things of activity today. But I don't think horseback riding is necessarily like enough output energy expenditure for me, considering I spend the rest of my day sitting. So yesterday I rode, didn't do anything else. Today I'm riding again, definitely gonna work out, and I'm gonna take you guys with me. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna head to the gym right now. I'm going to grab some Amino IV, and I'm gonna drink this before/during my workout. This is really good for recovery, endurance, electrolyte balance. It also prevents your muscles from catabolizing, or from your body. It prevents your body from using your muscles as fuel because it has this. And yeah, that's what's going on. I'm gonna have 2 scoops of this. This is a watermelon flavor, which is delicious. And if you want to get yourself some, my 30% off code is Marie on PEScience.com. I'm out of breath. That was a lot of rambling. So without further ado, let's head to the gym. Okay, so since a circuit workout is all about being like intense and keeping the intensity high, keeping your heart rate high, I'm not gonna stop and like set up my camera when I switch exercises. So what I'm gonna do is demonstrate each exercise, and then I will put the full workout in the description as well as like sets and reps on the screen. So just, you know, demonstrating everything right now, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do the whole workout and get in my zone. So let's go.
It goes 1 by 1 and 2 by 2. Everybody on the floor, let me show you how we do. Let's go. Dip it low when you bring it up slow. Win it up 1 time, with it back once more. Come, run, run, everybody move, run. Let me see you move and rock it till the groove done. Shake it till the moon becomes the sun. Everybody in the club, give me a run. If you're ready to move, say yeah, yeah. One time for your mind, say yeah, yeah. Well, I'm ready for you. Come, let me show you. Want to groove? I'ma show you how we do. Mr. DJ, stomp on the replay. Mr. DJ, won't you turn the music up all the you on the dance floor, wanting some more what? Mr. DJ, won't you turn the music up all the you? Mr. DJ, stomp on the replay. Mr. DJ, won't you turn the music up all the you on the dance floor, wanting some more what? Mr. DJ, won't you turn the music up? Hey, Mr. Please, Mr. DJ, tell me if you hear me. Turn the music up. Hey, Mr. Please, Mr. DJ, tell me if you hear me. Turn the music up. It goes 1 by 1 and 2 by 2. Everybody on the floor, let me show you how we do. Let's go. Dip it low when you bring it up slow. Win it up 1 time, with it back once more. Come, run, run, everybody move, run. Let me see you move and couple, they keep on the dance floor wanting some more. What? Mr. DJ, won't you turn the music up? Hey, Mr. Please, Mr. DJ, tell me if you hear me. Turn the music up, the music up right now. Hey, Mr. Please, Mr. DJ, tell me if you hear me. Turn the music up, the music up right now. Okay, everybody get down if you feel me. Put your hands up to the ceiling. Everybody get down if you feel me. Put your hands up to the ceiling. Everybody get down if you feel me. Put your hands up to the ceiling. Everybody get down if you feel me. Put your hands up to the ceiling. Mr. DJ, stomp on the replay. Mr. DJ, won't you turn the music up? All they keep on the dance floor wanting some more. What? Mr. DJ, won't you turn the music up? All they keep. Mr. DJ, stomp on the replay. Mr. DJ, won't you turn the music up? All they keep on the dance floor wanting some more. What? Mr. DJ, won't you turn the music up? Hey, Mr. Please, Mr. DJ, tell me if you hear me. Turn the music up, the music up right now. Hey, Mr. Please, Mr. DJ, tell me if you hear me. Turn the music up, the music up right now.
Alright guys, back from the gym. That was a great quick workout. It took me about 25 minutes of circuit work, and then I just walked on the treadmill for 10 minutes to get a few more steps in. Like I said, I sit all day when I'm working at my laptop, so I do try to get in some like extra activity through like walking on the treadmill or walking around the neighborhood or whatever it may be. I try to get in a little bit of extra activity outside of like my dedicated workout. So that's what I did today. I hope you enjoyed the workout. The full thing will be in the description box, so you don't have to like go back and reference the video if you don't want to, even though the views would be nice. Anyways, I wanted to talk about the topic of this video, and I'm just gonna be 100% real and honest. I just took a body shower. I did not wash my hair or my face. I just changed and showered my body because I was like, why wash my hair and stuff if I'm just gonna go to the barn and get sweaty and dirty and have helmet hair later anyways. So you guys just get me raw and real. And I was gonna set up a tripod and make this all like fancy, but really I'm just on my couch at the window, and Ollie is laying right here in the window being cute. So that is the real current situation, and this video is all about the realness, so I hope you appreciate that. So where to start? I guess a brief like recap of my fitness story would be helpful. So, or at least my recent fitness story. So I started working out because I wanted, first of all, to improve my volleyball performance. I'm kind of undersized for like collegiate and super competitive volleyball. I'm only 5'4", so that's very short in like the volleyball world. So I wanted to be able to increase my vertical, be faster, all that stuff. But then simultaneously, I don't know how this like worked in my brain because they're not really like able to work simultaneously, but simultaneously I also wanted to be like toned and thin and like dainty. So I wanted to be a powerful athlete but like look dainty, and I don't really know how that worked in my head, but those were my goals. So basically I would do a crap ton of like plyometric and strength training, and then I'd also do a crap ton of cardio. And I didn't really know a lot about fitness at that point, but I just really wanted to thigh gap, and I also really wanted to be good at volleyball. So clearly that was not a good like path to go down. Eventually I also was like restricting calories and exercising too much, not eating enough, that whole shebang. And eventually I got into college. I started playing college volleyball, and I realized like, okay, if we're doing 3-a-days during preseason, I really can't be like under fueling myself. And I started taking nutrition more seriously. I started fueling my body properly, blah blah blah. Eventually I decided I wanted to do a bodybuilding competition, a bikini competition. And I did. I had been thinking about it for a few years because I had been following competitors on Instagram and it looked really cool. And I wanted to look badass and strong like they did. Yada, yada, yada. So eventually, after my sophomore year of college volleyball, I quit volleyball and I decided I was going to compete finally. And that was like probably 3 or 4 years of like wanting to compete but not pulling the trigger for a good reason. I wanted to do volleyball. I wanted to wait till I had like a good muscular foundation, all that good stuff. So I waited until going into my junior year of college to compete. Or I guess the summer after my, was it? The summer before my junior year, I started my first prep. It was like a 6-month prep. I lost like 35 pounds because I had reverse dieted myself into being very high body fat. Like it was a YOLO bulk. It was not a reverse diet. And I had like 35 pounds to lose to even look like I could potentially be a competitor, and I was still not lean enough. Picture right here. So that was my first competition season. Then I took a very short 3-month off season. Like that's very short when you just spent 6 months dieting. 3 months off is not enough. And then I jumped into another 6-month prep and then competed in 4 shows in the span of 5 weeks last summer, so summer of 2016. And I made it to the national stage. I did 2 national competitions. I won an overall at a local competition. I won my class in another local competition. And then I got top 15 at Team Universe, which was like my last competition. And that was awesome. I felt super accomplished. But at the same time, I was also kind of like, meh, okay. Like, this is a really good season, and I'm kind of cool with it. Like, a lot of people that I know still compete, like, when they get close to having, like, a decent placing on the national stage or win an overall, like, that lights their fire to keep going, and they just want to push harder. But for me, I was like, okay, like, I showed myself that I can be pretty good at this whole competing thing. Like, I know that if I kept working for it, I could be, competitive on the national level. Like, I proved to myself what I needed to prove to myself, basically. And at that point, I knew that it was I had done what I needed to do. And I didn't need to continue necessarily. So at that point, I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to living a fitness lifestyle. And I just want to be healthy and blah, blah, blah. Because we're going to talk about this in a little bit. But competing is not healthy. I know it's a fitness competition, but like you're not healthy and you're not really fit. 99% of people are not when they get on that stage. And then, okay, after that, like my last show was in July. In October, I entered the bodybuilding.com spokesmodel search. So that was another like 3 months later, another 3-month off season. I entered the bodybuilding.com spokesmodel search and started dieting for that. So this is 3 dieting phases, like long diets in the span of like 18 months with very small off seasons. And I knew that my metabolism was not ready for a diet again. I knew that my body was still tired from my preps, but I knew that the spokesmodel search was an important opportunity for my career in the industry, and it was going to be a really good experience, and yada, yada, yada. So I still signed up and I still started dieting for it. But we found that my body just was not responding to dieting again for a good reason, like totally understandable. So we found that my body didn't really respond to the diet, and once we got to a certain point with like my macros and cardio, I was like, okay, coach, I don't want to keep like digging any deeper because I know it's just gonna dig me into a worse and worse hole with like my hormonal health and all that stuff. So I stepped on stage like semi-lean, like lifestyle lean. I still looked healthy, but definitely not like competition stage lean, which is not necessarily what they're looking for anyways. But that was what I did, because at that point I was really starting to realize like the toll that competing and dieting for so long had been taking on my body, and I knew that like the cost was not worth the benefits. Like, even if they cared so much about being lean and I won the spokesmodel search, that was not worth like compromising my health further. So that's what I did, and I'm really glad that I didn't dig deeper. And at that point, I frankly was not like mentally able to dig deeper because I was so burnt out from dieting and competing for, you know, the last 18 months. Like, my life revolved around competing. And so yeah, that brings us to 2017. The Spokesmodel Search finals were in early January of this year, and I got 5th place, which was a big honor after, you know, thousands of people entered. Like, top 5 was such a fun experience. I don't regret entering. I don't regret dieting for it, but I'm so glad that I didn't diet harder. Let's just put it that way. And after that, I was like, okay, so now I need to, we're getting to the point of this whole talk. I just needed to give you guys background so you kind of understood where I was coming from. But after the Spokesmodel Search, we got to the point of, now what? And I was like, okay, so I'm going to, you know, give my body a break. I'm going to train a little lighter, train how I see, like, it's fun. I'm going to, like, not track macros. I was just so burnt out. I could not track macros. I could not follow a structured training program. I could not, like, push myself to fit into that, like, competitor lifestyle again. It was not in me. The desire was not there. It was like negative 1000% desire to live like a competitor. And so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do that. So at first, it was really fun. I was enjoying being a foodie. I had just moved to LA. LA has a lot of good food. It has great gyms. I have friends here. I was traveling a ton, so I was just, like, YOLOing, living it up, and that was really fun. But at the same time, like, when you've been dieting for so long, your body has adapted to having not a lot of, like, calorie intake. It's adapted to a lot of energy expenditure, and I, like, reversed that. I was having a lot of calories, a little less energy expenditure, and of course I gained weight, like, fairly quickly, because that's what happens when you come off of a prep and don't have any structure. Now, I wouldn't say it was, like, a terrible rebound or anything, but I definitely gained, like, 5 to 10 pounds within the first, like, couple months after that diet. And that's not, like, abnormal for competitors post-show necessarily, even if you are doing, like, you bump up to maintenance and then do a structured reverse diet. So I guess it could have been worse technically. But like I said, I wasn't tracking macros. I was just kind of, like, eating intuitively and hoping for the best. And Lord knows I have the intuition of, like, a linebacker. Like, I love food. I have a bottomless pit for a stomach, and that was just not a good idea, really. Long story short, that was not optimal. I did not handle it super well. I stopped working with my coach. Like, I just needed a break. Like, I just didn't want anything to do with the competitor's lifestyle. Fast forward to, like, March maybe, I decided it would be a good idea to do a powerlifting meet because I started to kind of get that, like, competitive itch back, and I wanted some sort of structure in my life, but I didn't want it to be dependent on my physique. I wanted it to be dependent on performance. I'm naturally a stronger person. I've also been, like, strength training and working on my strength for many years, so powerlifting is something that I kind of have, like, a natural ability for. And so knowing that I would be semi-decent at it, knowing that it would be something different, a different competitive outlet, I decided to try powerlifting. You guys know I prepped for a meet for, like, 5 or 6 weeks. I did a mock meet. That went really well. I, like, deadlifted 300 pounds, all that stuff. And then the mock meet was, like, I didn't really have fun. I wasn't enjoying my training. So I decided that was not a good place to put my energy. And some people were like, oh, well, you said you were going to do some things, you should finish it. And other people really admired that I followed my heart. It doesn't matter. Anyways, I did what was best for me, and I decided to pull out from that powerlifting prep. And I was like, okay, sorry, coach. I know you're excited to prep me for this, but I just am not in it, and kind of, like, fell off the face of the earth with my coach. And that was not, like, very nice of me to do after he had been so good to me. But I just really needed, like, space and time to think and rewind, like, years. Throughout this whole process, like, during my first competition prep, I lost my period. So obviously that's something that happens frequently with competitors, and that's just because your body is like, oh, I'm losing a lot of body fat, I'm expending a lot of energy, this is not a good environment to become pregnant, basically. And that's like pretty, I don't want to say normal, it is normalized in the competing world for female competitors to lose their periods. I don't think it's healthy or should be normalized, but it is normalized for women to lose a period. So I was just told like, oh, it's totally fine as long as it comes back after your prep. And so it came back like one time after my prep. Granted, I wasn't even that lean after my first prep. And then my second prep, I had it for a while and then lost it again. And then after the second prep, I never got it back before the spokesmodel search. And I went to the doctor and he was like, did a hormone panel. Granted, it was not very comprehensive. It was like the bare minimum hormone panel. And he was like, oh, your hormones are fine. Everything looks fine. I think you just need more time off of dieting. And then I still dieted for the spokesmodel search, but not nearly as hard as I could have. And that was partially because of what my doctor said. And then after that, I was like, okay, I really need to listen to my doctor. I'm not going to diet until my hormones are regulated again. And that brings us to present day. It is nearly October of 2017, and I still don't feel like my body's in a place where I can go in a caloric deficit because my hormones are still not where they need to be. And that is what I think has been like the biggest con of competing, is like the long-term health effects of extreme dieting. And this can happen to people that don't compete too and just are extremely active and maybe restrict their food and stuff. So this is relevant to people that are more than competitors. But a lot of people have been wondering like, oh, have you been bulking this year? Like, when's your next competition? When are you gonna cut again? Like, how much do you weigh? How much weight have you gained? Like, people have just been asking a lot of questions regarding like my current physique and my current goals. And honestly, my goals right now are to just figure out my hormonal shit and like get healthy and get to a point where I can diet and it's not going to be detrimental to my health. Because it doesn't have to be, but when you put your body through some shit like I did, like, I totally don't blame it for being a little bit out of whack, a lot out of whack. And long story short, I've gotten my period like 3 or 4 times in 2017, and we are in month 9, so that is not good. Actually, it's probably like 2 or 3 times, and I actually did get it last month. Funny enough, I got it the exact day that I went to a new doctor to get my hormones tested. So I made the appointment like, yo, I'm not getting my period, I need to get my hormones checked, and I have like all of these other symptoms of hormonal imbalance, and then I got my period. Sorry, I keep having to stop recording, erase footage on my memory card, and make space. But I'm also gonna not like edit this portion at all, or bare minimum, because this is just a raw, real chat, you know? So anyways, I went and had my hormones checked. I actually do need to call back my doctor and schedule a follow-up because my test results came back. I don't know what they are yet, but based on my symptoms, my doctor was guessing that my progesterone and estrogen levels are out of whack, and I'll tell you guys like what exact tests I had done and stuff once I get them back. And I don't want to speculate like what's necessarily wrong with me, because if I'm wrong, then that's really awkward. But basically my symptoms were amenorrhea, so lack of period, weight gain, which I did deserve definitely some of the weight gain, but then I've tried to like count macros and go to intake levels that should either stabilize or reduce my weight, and that didn't happen. A lot of like sleeping more and still being really tired, low libido, so low sex drive. What else? My skin has been off and on, like I've been breaking out more than ever this year. Just like symptoms of like adrenal and thyroid out of wackiness. So basically I went to the doctor, explained all those symptoms, and he was like, yeah, it definitely sounds like we have something going on here, and just like not having a period is enough of a reason to be concerned. So all of the other symptoms are just like confirmation of that. And yeah, so I'm waiting to get my results back. I think I'll make an appointment for next week, and I will definitely update you guys then. But basically the whole point of this video is to update you guys on my life, explain why I don't look super like fitness-y lately / this entire year, why I've put on some body fat and have maintained that level of body fat without trying to get rid of it. Not that having body fat is like a bad thing, but by any means, but I think I feel most comfortable and confident like about 10 pounds less than I am now. So it's been hard for me to feel, oh gosh, I'm getting emotional. It's been hard for me to feel like worthy of being a fitness influencer when I don't feel like I look fit. And you guys probably still think I look fit and like think this is being dramatic, but when you're used to your body looking a certain way and you're used to being a competitor and feeling like in control of how you look and your performance and all of that, and then all of a sudden you're not in control and you just feel like your body is fighting everything that you try to do, it's very frustrating and it's very like draining, and you just, yeah. So that's how I've been feeling. That's also been part of the reason why I kind of have been like less active on YouTube, because it just has been like a struggle for all of 2017, and I haven't really told you guys about it because it's just like a personal thing, and I don't know, I didn't want to sound like I was complaining, or like, I understand that I did it to myself essentially, and that's why I think it is important to tell you guys about it, because I understand that competing and doing extreme fitness things is like very glamorized, and we put people on pedestals when they have insane shredded physiques, especially like women. It's not healthy to do that. It's not healthy to take your body to sub-essential levels of body fat. It's not healthy to run yourself into the ground. It's not healthy to sacrifice your hormone for a stupid plastic trophy. And some people can prep in like a mostly healthy way and recover really quickly from their preps, and they don't have like long-term effects from it. But like more and more people, women especially, are coming out saying like bodybuilding competitions effed their shit up. So I guess that's kind of given me more courage to talk about it. But do I necessarily regret competing? I don't really know, but I do know that I wish I would have definitely taken longer off seasons and like gone about it differently, so as to like prevent these hormonal nightmares from happening. Will I ever compete again? I really don't think so. I really doubt it. And I know that people usually like at expos and stuff, people ask me when my next show is, and then when I say I'm probably never competing again, they're like disappointed. And I understand it's really fun to watch people prep for a show and like follow along with that journey, but I think it's a lot more like beneficial and helpful and stuff to just show you guys how I live a healthy and balanced lifestyle, and how to like put fitness into your life rather than live your life around fitness. And that kind of goes off my last video. So basically I just wanted to catch you guys up on where I'm at, talk about whether or not I'm ever competing again, because that's been a big question, and yeah, address kind of that stuff and open up about where I'm at, because every time I feel like I dread being raw and real with you guys and just opening up, you guys always come back like so supportive and so loving, and I never have once regretted like coming on here and opening up to you guys. So fingers crossed it's the same way this time. But regardless, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm going to edit this and get it up as soon as possible, and then do some other work. I do still have really exciting projects coming for you guys, and yeah, that's about it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I seriously do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, and I will see you guys next time. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I love you.
Say bye, Bubby. Say bye, baby.